Coming to you from an undisclosed location, somewhere deep in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains, I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli. A special presentation here on Psalm 19 with author and the co-host of Prophecy Watchers, Mondo, Gonzales. We'll get into this and so much more, but first, a word from our trusted sponsor. Chances are you've been here before. The chaos in the markets, oil and stocks. Just when you thought it was safe and interest rates were rising, new threats come out of nowhere. Tensions are boiling from Asia to Europe. Adaptation is the key here to safeguarding your wealth. You may have not considered gold before, but folks, it's not speculation, it's insurance. And right now, I think all of us need as much insurance as we possibly can get. Noble Gold Investments have been protecting investors from disaster for years with precious metals. If you're worried, it might be time to take a fresh look at gold and silver. Gold is a proven safe haven shield for your portfolio and a volatility balance against uncertainty. If it helps, Noble Gold Investments is offering a free 3-ounce silver American Virtue coin with its new IRAs this month. If you open up your gold investment IRA or 401k rollover, you can claim your coin today. Remember, crisis brews, portfolios waver, gold insulates. Folks, we've done it. Gold is hitting some record highs, at least it was last week. We'll see what it continues to do. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Noblegoldinvestments.com. We've invested, and it's the only gold company I trust. Once again, noblegoldinvestments.com. So at the last Prophecy Watchers conference in Oklahoma, you gave a presentation at lunch on Psalm 19. And all I can say is you absolutely wowed the audience with the pictures that you were showing and with your presentation. What got you into this? Tell us the backstory.
You know, it's to me, Psalm 37 verse 4 is, if you delight yourself in the Lord, He'll give you the desires of your heart. And so I've long been an astronomy fan, took astronomy in college and everything.
Since you were a kid, though,
Since I was a kid, yeah. I was going to be an astronaut. And then I realized that I can't even go on a fair ride because I get sick. So there's no way I would even
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
No centrifuge for you.
No, that'd be horrible. the cups, the teacups, horrible. Anyways,
right.
But so astronomy has long, been fascinating. And what's kind of rekindled it is the technology that we have today is so much better than 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. I would say even in the last 3 years or even 2 years that we've been developing the Psalm 19 project, the technology is just getting so sophisticated that what you have, Psalm 19, the heavens declare the glory of the Lord and the skies above show forth His handiwork. So what we're seeing out there, billions and billions and billions of objects that now are within reach of a person with not billions of dollars or even a university type telescope equipment or whatever. The tracking, the other things that we can do. God has hidden these things there. And so our goal is we want people to see Him. We want to see the majesty, the beautiful, the artistic ability of God in how He's created all these things. Simply for what? For fun? I don't know. We don't really know. There's a lot of spiritual lessons, but ultimately, it's like, well, why did He make the effort, the translucent fish at the bottom of the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean? Just because He could.
Right.
And it took what? Until our current generation to be able to see some of these things. Mm-hmm. And God just says, I just did that because He's a creator. He likes to do things like that. So I love astronomy. Now we have the ability, I want to show God off. God is awesome. His power is awesome. I want people to be awed by that.
So we have, and we're not trying to disparage anyone here, but there's a whole wing of Christianity that believe in a flat earth, and we're sitting in some sort of a dome. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that you've done, and I've been reading your articles on this when you talk about the flat, when you sort of challenge the flat earth paradigm, you're doing it in love. You're not banging anybody over the head. You're not saying, you're not name calling or resorting to ad hominem attacks. You're not disparaging anyone. You're just presenting evidence. Tell us some of the evidence which refutes the flat earth paradigm.
It's again, you have people that love Jesus, and And so their goal is their goal is the Bible, okay? And this is to their credit, and they want to see people rescued from sin, and that's what we want. So again, these are our brothers and sisters. That's why I'm not going to pick on them. We're just coming from a different frame of reference. I love the Bible. They love the Bible. It's a matter of how we interpret the Bible. And so in the same way, the other element that is placed here is you have a group like NASA. Never a straight answer, you know,
I love it.
all the
Right.
phrases that you have. And I am not a NASA defender. It's a godless agency. They don't promote God as the creator, etc. It's evolutionary. So we're on the same side there, that when we look at NASA, the challenge has been is that what I see is an overreaction on the part of many in the flat earth community, in that, for example, they'll say, there is no such thing as a Hubble Space Telescope. There is no such thing as outer space. There is no James Webb Telescope. And so I was like, really? You really believe that? And so what we've tried to do in our Psalm 19 project is to say, okay, well, here's a picture that Hubble created. And the flat earth group say, it's a complete lie. That's computer generated image, CGI. It's like, okay, well, have you ever looked through a telescope in this regard? And many people say, Mondo, I've looked through a telescope, and it's all just a bunch of lights. I say, well, you need to get a bigger telescope, because clearly that is not the case. So what we've tried to do is to say, okay, guys, we agree with you that NASA doesn't tell all the truth all the time, but that doesn't mean that everything they do is a complete lie, and that's the default. So what I've done is I'll say, okay, this is what they claim the Orion Nebula looks like. Well, I just tell the telescope, go over there, and I can take a picture of the Orion Nebula with ours. It's beautiful. You can go to our website, prophecywatchers.com, go to articles, go to the Psalm 19. All of our pictures are there. You can see. And so when I get this image, I compare it.
You A/B it.
I A/B. I'm like,
Right.
hey, now our image is not $1 billion because it didn't cost us that, but it's the exact same image, exact same coordinates. So what you see, what I'm trying to do is to create a balance to say, hey guys, part of your approach is, their goal is to win people to Jesus, as is ours. But if you take this approach and you come out of the gate saying everything that NASA is doing, all it takes is the unbeliever to do what I'm doing. There's more unbelievers doing astrophotography than we are.
Sure.
So they're looking at a flat earther and going, I'm never even going to consider what that guy's saying about the gospel. Because I can look at Orion myself, I can take a picture of it. They're obviously complete fool. The unbeliever's saying that about a flat earther.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is say, hey guys, your desire is to see them come to Jesus. Let's do this in balance. There is these objects. So that's what we've been doing. Ours, I use a one-shot color camera. There's no computer generated anything, in the sense of graphics and colors. What I do is I put it up, it takes the image, the colors are there. I'm not creating, I'm not adding, I'm not even an artist, so trust me, I have no artistic ability. We're just simply pointing what we see there. And that's what I'm trying to do. Is my heart is to help the people that are in the flat earth community in trying to reach people with the gospel, but to say, guys, you're not going to do it that way if you go all out like that, because you're missing so much of the facts of scientific fact. Because, again, when you interpret the Bible, so here's the question, LA, for us. Are you going to believe the Bible, or are you going to believe Mondo's astronomy picture? Right? I mean, when you put it like that, the average Christian's going to go, well, I have to believe the Bible. Right. And so I say, well, wait a minute. Are you going to believe this interpretation of that text versus Mondo's astronomy picture? And if we interpret the Bible correctly, there is no contradiction.
Right.
But if you interpret incorrectly from that flat earth model and say there is no such thing as that, when in fact the science shows us this isn't make-believe. Now what we realize is that some of the methodology, not all of it, some of the methodology of the flat earth community is doing a disservice. They're taking, by saying all those pictures that we have are lies and they're all fabricated, they're taking away from the glory of God. The skies are filled with the glory of God and his handiworks, billions of objects.
Psalm 19.
Every time they say that's a lie, God's like, no, I made that.
Right.
I made that, and that shows my power. It shows my divine nature. It shows my creativity. And I don't think they mean to do that, But that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
So they have this idea that flat Earth, right here, the tabletop, flat Earth,
just use this.
is perfect. It's perfect. And here's the dome that goes over the whole thing.
Like a snow globe.
Yeah. So we're, and I've stated this at Prophecy Watchers conferences before, just, rent a private plane and go to the edge and show us, bring back the film. And no one can do that because it doesn't exist.
Well, and what you have, the typical response to that, and again, is that I'm a conspiracy guy.
So am I.
We are. Yeah. So I lean towards believing conspiracies, but for the flat earth community, they go, well, don't you know that there's the Antarctic Treaty that doesn't allow, that they guard now in order to promote the globe lie. There's a military that keeps you from coming and approaching all of Antarctica, because for them Antarctica is all the way around the outside of the flat Earth. So anywhere you go, you can't go there and see the edge because you will be stopped by the military. Well, that's a great. Actually have read the Antarctica Treaty, and I'm like, I don't see.
It's not there.
It's not there. And not saying that there isn't an agreement to do research and other things, but at the end of the day, what you just said is, well, show us. Yeah. Go out,
bring something.
Show how you are getting. You're getting stopped. That would be a great thing, is to come out there, fly over.
Yeah, and then just show us the altercation.
Show us the altercation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this, and you've shown me this, some of your photographs that you're taking with your telescope in the backyard. You live in a remote area outside the city, and outside of Oklahoma City, and you've got this incredible setup with the scopes and everything. And I'm looking at these galaxies that you're showing me. And I'm just sitting there going like, where are we? And what is this? It's humbling to the point of, you just sit there and you're silent. You're just silent because you realize that we don't know where we are, what this is, and God's he's just having fun. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and it brings us to, even at dinner last night, I'm going to show you the latest images that
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, yeah. and the galaxies, and one of the images was I was taking a picture of what's called the Witch Head Nebula.
Right, yeah,
and it looks like a profile of a witch. Just pareidolia, creativity. They put names to these things, but then as I was looking, I was like, "Ellie, come here and look at this." The image is really, really big, and as I'm going over and just scanning, oh, there's another galaxy. There's a galaxy. didn't even know they were there. But there's these huge spiral galaxies, barred spiral. I mean, irregular galaxies. Just there's another one. There's another one. There's another one, and you think, if I had a bigger telescope, Bob's like, no, there would be even more that we would see there. So. The glory of God is magnificent. It reminds me of Psalm 8. David, same one who wrote Psalm 19. Lord, when I look up at the skies and your heavens that you've created, what is man? The grandeur. What is man that God cares about us? Right. And we are so, in the scheme of things, so from a size perspective, we are insignificant in the size. Right. But God says, but you're important. Because I made you, I created you. Yeah. And so there's a theology there. And so that's all really the heart is to try to say, look, guys, if you as you embrace a flat earth cosmology, they are saying, and many people said, Mondo, I can't believe you're in bed with NASA now. I'm like, so
not in bed with NASA.
I'm not in bed.
No.
Because again, we have all this very expensive equipment. So I want to say, what do you think I'm doing? Do you think I'm going out there? I got this big telescope. I'm not using it. I'm just out there on my computer creating these images. I mean, this is real equipment. It's very sophisticated. It's very technical. It takes a lot of learning to get it dialed in. But as you can see with our images, I have a good friend named Micah out in Idaho, countryastronomer.com, because he is very good at, he's kind of led me along. And our images are dynamite. I mean, they're really, incredible. Really good. Mm-hmm.
So are you guys going to make a calendar? How can people access
You know what? We had, as we started showing our images through all of really this year, we had many people say, can you do a calendar? So we put together a calendar. You can find it at prophecywatchers.com. cheap, $15. It's not a lot because we want to get the images out there. Beautiful, stunning. We got a picture of the sun with a very specific hydrogen alpha lens, and you can see the intricate like filaments on the sun. It's just amazing what you can see, because most people will say as well, and that when you look at a planet, Mondo, I've looked at a planet, it's just a point of light. No, it isn't. You can actually see, and I'm going to do this for the next calendar, is focus on the planets, because you can see Jupiter rotating over a period. It rotates in 9 hours and 45 minutes. So from a visual spot, from a side,
right,
that means in 4 hours, when the red spot comes out, you can see it just turn. It's over 1 4-hour period. It's rotating, and you can see the moon coming like this, and it disappears behind it, and you see it come out over here. So Jupiter is a sphere. It's a globe. Its moons are there. You can see it rotating. When people say that it's just a point of light,
it's not.
I'm not trying to be mean, LA. I just think don't fall for that. Go out and find. Go to a local star party. You don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars on equipment, because this is what we know. People love showing off their stuff, right? You go to a star party.
Star party. There you go.
And they have great equipment.
Right.
And you can say, "Can you show me Jupiter? I would love to see the red spot." And you'll see it is not just a point of light. It actually has substance, and it's rotating.
Yep. Wow. Psalm 19, prophecywatchers.com, prophecywatchers.com. Folks, thanks so much for coming here. Hit the subscribe button. Our Christmas store, lamarzulli.net. Everything is 20% off. We're not carrying the calendar, but you can get that at prophecywatchers.com. But there's a ton of resources. Merry Christmas, one and all, and we'll be coming back again. Unfortunately, this is our last segment with Mondo. Mondo, I just thank you so much for coming on the record.
Ben, we'll see you in Oklahoma here in a
yes,
couple weeks.
Yes, you will. It's really cool. Thanks for watching, folks. When tonight, spend a minute, go outside when it's dark, look up, and remember Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God. Thanks so much for watching.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Late this afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week. Our correspondents in Los Angeles and Chicago have been in contact with Army officials endeavoring to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago.
The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucer. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brazell was the man who discovered the saucer. Colonel William Blanchard of the Roswell Air Base refuses to give details of what the flying disc looks like.